Boom. I think we are live. Am I live on Instagram? I need to see. I want to say I am. It's saying I'm live on Instagram, but I don't see it on my Instagram. Somebody check it out. But I see some people coming through on YouTube. Okay, cool. All right, y'all. So what's up? This is live stream Mental Man Monday. This is the last one of the year. Podcast ends January 4th, and this live stream is the last one for the year because next Monday is Christmas, the following Monday is New Year's Eve, and then so I'm gonna give y'all a little break, and we're gonna come back with these probably mid-January, and then season 8 should come back in first week of April, maybe. I haven't decided yet, but it's gonna come back. What was I about to say? Let me make this post on my on Instagram, and then we good to go. Got an interesting topic today. Got a few things I want to talk about. But hopefully everybody had a good day. I got 2 guests today for the price of one. You know, my people met with their people, and we agreed on a payment plan. So I could pay them through Klarna, and they were okay with that. So that's good to know. Let me put it up here now. And yeah. So leading up to now, we had like 7 or 8 episodes. I'm not sure which ones. I know we had a few, but it worked out in the end. It worked out in the end. So let me go ahead and add these people on. What's going on? The talented ones. I got 2 for the price of one.
What's up, man?
What's going on, man?
How's the audio on our side?
That's good.
Okay, for sure.
So I appreciate y'all for coming through. Huh?
I said we're on a hot spot, so hopefully it stays smooth the rest of the way.
Well, look, the thing is, what I like about these is they live, so it all kind of works out where I like it to where if something mess up, I always be like, we live, you know. So that's cool. All right, so thank y'all again for coming on. Last one of the year, we got to make it count. Now, we got a few things we're going to talk about. We saw, of course, the title. So we're going to talk about Anthony Edwards. We're going to talk about Jonathan Majors. And we're also going to be petty. We're not petty, but we got 7, 8 days to Christmas. 7 days, I believe. So I'm going to start off with the first conversation for the day. So everybody finish the rest. So all I want for Christmas is what? I'll start. First thing I want for Christmas, I'm almost at 1K on YouTube. So I just want how much is it? I'm not a math person. I think it was like 70 more subscribers, and then I'll be at 1K. Because I made it's like what? I made 929, so 71. And then once that go through, it's up. So which y'all want for Christmas?
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I only have one thing. He's gonna laugh when I say this. It's nothing crazy. It's this cologne that I smelled the other day. I just need, but it's like $500. That's all I want for Christmas. That's it. Just give me this one cologne that I smell. That's it. For the most part, though, I get everything that I want or I need at the moment. So,
what about you?
Yeah.
So, all I want for Christmas pretty much is low key. Either I need an Xbox or a PS5. I need something to keep me in the house, man. I
got mine a few months ago. I put it on the payment plan, and it's paid off now.
That means your credit went up too.
Huh?
That means your credit went up too. See, that's a smart play. Put it on the payment plan, get your credit.
Yep. So that mug is paid off now. It's just sitting over there. I'm going to St. Louis Thursday morning, and then I'll be there. And then for New Year's Eve, I'm be in Atlanta. So I think I'm gonna leave it here. But because I ain't trying to take. Because if I was coming straight back after St. Louis, I probably would bring it with me. But what?
Don't trust TSA with yours.
Yeah. Hey, it's gonna be a 10-year-old real happy on Christmas Day. They see you with the PS5 coming through.
Yeah, no, I'm leaving the mug here for sure. All right, so we're gonna get into the first conversation for the day. So let me go ahead and add it onto the thing. All right. So, woman exposes NBA player Anthony Edwards for asking her to get an abortion, and Edwards responds. All right. So, this comes from Ball Alert, in case y'all can't see it, and I have the text messages. She says, I still have an appointment on the 27th. Hell no, can't do it. So now what? What a great response. He says, get an abortion. LOL. I don't know why that was funny. Honestly, I had an abortion with my son around 2 years ago, and I regret it every day. Man, you can't force a kid in the world. You don't know what it is yet. That's not the point. I said I'd have an abortion 2 years ago, and I regret it. He says, yeah, I don't want a kid. She says, being cool to you is just going to get an abortion by myself and you not doing shit is going about your day. That's being cool to you. Obviously, you've been through this before, just by your reaction. I will send you money to help you out. So that means he's been through it before. He neither confirmed nor denied. She says, I didn't ask for it, but okay. You just don't want a baby. Is it why you're saying all this? Because I've been cool with you. I don't want kids. Let's handle this like grown-ups. Okay. I'm not trying to I got a lot to say. It's okay. I'm not trying to force you to be a dad, but to a baby you don't want, I just don't like abortions. That doesn't make me wrong. If you really don't want to do this, then fine, I won't. And it continues. He says, just take the pills. You don't care about no one but you. You got the money. What's the hold up? Because now you finna make a problem. She says, finna make what a problem exactly? I don't give a F. I've been nice this whole time. I don't bother you because I don't, because, hold on, can she type? Bother you, I don't cause
Yeah,
problems.
Once people start getting flustered, that grammar go out the window.
No, for sure, out the window. She says, I don't cause nothing problems. Nothing don't speak to me like that. I told you I would because you want me to. So that's that you talking about a life, you just being somewhat understanding. I told you I'll be home soon. Okay, just make sure I get the video of the box with the right pills. What other pills would they be, Anthony? Just making sure. So then she's clearly she sent the video. The other half is in 24 to 48 hours. So I send you what? So I send you what you asked. Then it's F me. You're going to ignore me now. He says my attorney gonna handle it. You said you were handling ourselves, and then when I do my part, you turn. Your attorney hasn't even responded. Just do what you said you would do. I did my part. You can send it within 48 hours. Well, he hasn't responded not once. Still no response. Still stop playing. Just do everything you asked. All right. So let's talk about that. So let's get into the first segment, which which follows from the podcast, as we know, is what does this have to do with mental health? Now, as we know, Mental Man Mondays, we speak about the male aspect of this situation. So speaking from Anthony's perspective, um, I get it. I'm not saying it's okay. I get you said you didn't want kids and you trying to, force her into an abortion. That's never okay because she's telling you, I regret it. And you basically saying, I don't care, get an abortion. Now, I get your mental health from his aspect where it's like, this is going to change my life upside down. I don't want that. But as an adult, we have consequences for our actions. So, what's y'all's take on that?
How old is Anthony Edwards? 24?
24.
Yeah.
I mean, my take on it is obviously like, it looks like she's an Instagram model. I don't really know the girl who that is, like that he dealt with or the screenshots are from. But I mean, my take on it is just, it's easier said than done. But as an NBA player, you gotta know, like, with these situations like this, you gotta practice discipline at the highest degree because any little bit of slip up, any little bit of breathing room or a door open for something to happen like this, like he's just lucky that she happened to just listen to him and actually, do what he told her to do. But it could have been somebody else. She was like, nah, I'm just gonna keep it. Like, I don't care what you're talking about. So my take on it is just be as disciplined as possible. And especially if you have that type of bread, that type of stardom like that, You just need to be a lot more disciplined to avoid any situation like that at all.
You got to know when to hold, know when to fold, know when to walk away. But sorry, ESPN done it now. Nah, so I guess my opinion on it with him is like you gotta. It's gonna sound harder. This is easier said than done, essentially. But like, yo, you gotta cut this first step off first. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying don't deal with what you're doing or don't have fun and experience what you need to experience. But at the same time, like you gotta be safe and take every measure so you don't get into a situation like this to where now you haven't even had this conversation. Like you said, like it's gonna have to be for him a discipline on a higher level. Like, dog, we all know that you just got this deal with Adidas. You got your own shoe now. You about to get the. Did he get the max or is he about to get the max with? Probably will. He's probably about to get the super max with the Timberwolves. So that's at least 200, 300 something M's coming his way very soon. You're stardom. You're from Atlanta. You're already from a popular place. So like you have a lot of things rolling for you, and you're only 24. Like we're 26. You know what I'm saying? So somebody that's a couple years younger, that's experiencing all this, I can only imagine like, oh, like you got to be on your P's and Q's more than anybody else. And that's like I said, easier said than done, especially for people that's not in that position. But yeah, like at least he didn't run it. She seems like she has the. She's like she's not trying to lock him down. She's not trying to be like, oh, no, I'm pinning this kid on you. It's more of a situation. I don't like how you're handling the situation. You know,
I think that I'm not for blasting people, but what I will say is, in her defense, I like how her responses to me weren't like the typical. She not, but I'm just saying, like in this situation,
like
video
not
vixen.
like she wasn't like it wasn't like the I'm trying to like get you caught up chick. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yeah. And my thing with her is too. She, like I said, she wasn't trying to like force him to keep it. I mean, I think it was on some like, look, I'm not getting rid of it, just your baby. I'm not gonna make you be a part of his life if you don't want to. That's kind of the vibe I was getting. Which you got to respect, but at the same time, well, let's just go to the next segment, which is WWID, which is what would I do in this situation? So y'all get a little time to think because I'm gonna answer first. So say you get a phone call today from the video vixen that you was smashing. This is what happened. She's not a video vixen, y'all. I'm just saying that because this is just kind of like how them old school stores used to be back in the day. Because Instagram models, that's what they are. They're the new video vixen. So, that's just a new name. But, huh?
No, I'm curious to see if she was actually like straight IG model. See, I'm going to the page to see.
So, if I got that text today, my heart will probably shatter. But, I'm not, I just know, and especially with her response of saying, I regret getting an abortion to this day, which most women don't talk about. Most of them actually do regret it a lot of times afterwards. Even if they don't publicly say it, they do regret it. So in this case, I feel like if she's telling you she regrets it, you just got to thug it out and deal with it. You don't want to, but you got the money. And she basically saying like, you ain't even got to be here if you don't want to. Of course, me, I would be a father in the child's life because, you don't want your child, another fatherless black child. But, with an NBA daddy that they don't know. But in the same breath, also, and this is rude, I wouldn't do this. But if I was to take his route, they got vanish mode. Why would you text that? So y'all go.
Nah, I went first last time. So
What would I do in this situation?
yeah, you tried to let me go first.
And all right, went through her IG. Yeah, you gotta be careful. First and foremost, you gotta just play it safe. Play it safe. I know. I'm saying, what would I do in this situation? I don't know if I would be this far down the line here. You know what I'm saying? Because like I don't know. I act scary, like in a sense of a situation. Be like, if it has anything to do with probably messing up my future, I'm probably taking the safest route possible. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Well, one, like you said, I'm doing straight phone calls or vanish mode. Somebody's around me when I'm talking to this person.
Yeah, for
Straight
sure.
text off. Yeah, straight text off the hip. Nah, because something's gonna be lost in translation. I'm gonna say it wrong or whatever. And she seems like she's not dumb, so everything just got documented, screenshots. Before it hit the internet, it probably already hit the friends. You know what I'm saying? And can't have a kid and not raise them or her. You know what I'm saying? Hypothetically speaking. So like that's not an option. So you would just hope to not be in that situation. And that's like being a rock in a hard place. Cause Shorty seems like she really like on some like I've had an abortion, so I don't want another one. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like a thing. Now you're in a hard spot because you're like, because on one end, he probably think like, dog, you had one, you can have it again. But that's insensitive to the situation. I'm saying, like, you know, she's gonna be like, I've already been through this, I'm not doing it again. I feel like I already took away a life. So I don't know what he gonna do. What I would do is not gonna be in the situation.
I think now he kind of got to step up now because he blasted. So it's like,
See, and that's the thing. Like, is this the person that you want to be linked up with for the rest of your time? Not because you public, so it's not even just like, you know, your kid is one thing, how you raise your kid and be in your family dynamic, that's one thing.
yeah,
But imagine already having everything out in the public. Now you got to publicly put on a show like y'all cool to raise this kid. So now you're connected with this person for the rest of your life now, publicly. Even in your new situations you bring in, your new shorty, like in the future, like there's a person already attached to your hip asking for that bread. And she probably gonna start taxing because she gonna be like, oh, now I'm mad. You put me through all this. You might have got through with a little bit of bread, you know, okay, take care of the kids' needs, whatever. Now I'm about to try to stain you. Cause Shorty got 1.4 million followers, what I seen. It's gonna be a lot of Turks and Caicos trips being funded.
It was terrible. But in my opinion, let's just because he took the I would never be in a situation route, so I won't go that route. I'll just say like if I'm Anthony Edwards and I'm 24 and I have millions, I'm about to get a max contract or whatever. Obviously, the best course of action is not to be in a situation in the first place. But if I'm in the situation, all you can do is to ask her to do what you want her to do. But after hearing like, hey, I had an abortion already, I don't want to have another one, I regret it. You can be as empathetic as possible and you can still ask again. But at the end of the day, if she says no, you're just gonna have to eat that. Like you have millions, it's not like it's gonna be the end of your life. Right, like you can still be cordial, take care of the kid. It doesn't have to be messy and things like that. But I think comes the issue where people are taking the issue is like he just seemed like he didn't care about what she was talking about. He was like, yeah, I mean, okay, cool. I read what you said, but I don't really care. Just send a video. Like I don't care. So I think that's where most people have their issue because if you're already in the situation and she's telling you how she feels about it, you gotta kind of take some accountability for your actions as well and be like, okay, let me be empathetic, let me hear her out. But
get the conversation with the lawyer and speakerphone.
Facts. But if she just decides to not get one and keep it, you're just gonna have to deal with it.
Man up.
Man up. It's not the end of the world. You're about to get the millions, Supermax, so you'll be okay.
Even with the bread you got right now, child's gonna be good.
For sure.
All right, so let's move to the next segment because then I'm gonna add to this, which is WWJD, which is what would Jesus do? And we all know this is the most ethically, morally right thing to do. So obviously, in a situation where someone who, not necessarily Jesus, but who strives to be, in that angle, the right thing to do ethically would be to just man up, take care of the child, right? But these days, it seems like when we hear about children, it's either take care of it or abort it. But it seems like whatever happened to adoption? Is that still not an option no more, or people just don't? I don't. That used to be a thing back in the day. It seems like now it's either one extreme or the other. It's never have it and give and still give it a like Why don't
I
nobody
think
ever talk about that?
the problem. Well, I don't want to say the problem, but I think what happens is why people aren't doing it now is because like it does happen when people are in situations where they absolutely know that they can do nothing to like take care of the kid for the most sometimes. But you got to also think like when a woman is carrying a baby for 9 months, it comes out, she sees me cry and all that. Like or she's going through the appointments and things like that. A lot of that stuff kind of is like, okay, you know what, maybe I can do this. Like, I don't want to go through all this and just give it up, right? Because if I'm not mistaken, and I could be wrong, so don't quote me on this directly, but I think like unless you already have like a family that is dedicated or signed up to like adopt your kid right when it comes out, right? Like if you're in that situation, even in those situations, I've heard where people like change their minds last minute. So I think it's just like going through all of that and then at the end having to just be like, okay, like I did all of my appointments, I squeezed the kid out, like I saw it cry and all everything. Now I'm just gonna give it up. Like that would be tough for anybody to do. So I think that's why like adoption isn't really a thing. It still happens, but it's usually like to where I feel like it doesn't just happen straight from birth as much anymore. Like I feel like it might be okay, like hey, the kid's 1 or 2, like I can't really handle it right now. Yeah.
And also, I think in their situation, I know this is what would Jesus do, but like to piggyback off that, but in their situation, it's a little different because now it's public eye attention. So it almost is going to look like, dang man, and you know how look, it already hit the blogs. It's probably, this man gives that kid up for adoption. It's the shade room. It's everywhere as an attack, and it's like that might not be a stain that you can get rid of because it's already public knowledge now. But I guess, yeah, I don't know. Adoption, I don't really hear about adoptions as much anymore. You know what I'm saying? I think that it's a strong option for certain people in certain scenarios. But most of the times when I hear about adoption, it's really in the case of like the two that made the kid just really can't take care of it. Most of the time, that's a financial reason. It's never a situation from what I've known in stories, and I know about personal people's adoption stories from there's different scenarios, but just in general, it's never a situation where like, oh, very rare. It's like the parents just don't want them. It's normally like I can't take care of them. It's normally like if they just can't see eye to eye so much, or a situation of like, we hate to say this like this, but like a rape or abuse or getting taken advantage of, and then like the kid's gonna come out looking like the dad. The dad was the abuser. That type of situation. Those when kids are given up for adoption, those are what I would normally hear of. But just to be like, nah, I don't want the kid is kind of rare now because co-parenting is such a common thing nowadays.
Yeah, definitely. And at this point, it goes to the final segment of this, which is WSMD, which is what should men do. And in this situation, you blasted now, so you got to it's your baby. So she's not gonna keep it. Everybody be in the comments rallying around her because in this case, she don't look like a bird. She don't look like a bird in the messages. I mean, of course, you can manipulate text messages. Ask me off air, I'll send y'all the site. But in this case, she cannot. I do know the site. I learned it from a school project. But anyway, yeah. But in this case, she already then put him on blast. At this point, if he was in this situation, if this was one of us, and we did say this to her, and she now went public, you have to, even though you're gonna look like you just copping out, make a public apology. This when they press, they team get behind them, say, hey, be like, hey, I can't wait to raise this child. I'm sorry I let fear get the best of me. Sound like BS, but at this point you busted now, so you might as well just go ahead and roll with him. Like, I apologize. Go on to just a campaign to one of them campaigns try to clear everything up. That's what I would do at this point. I think men should do that. If you're in this situation and you answered from his approach. But in reality, I think if we went to the root of the problem, niggas need to start wearing condoms.
Thank you. I was waiting on it. I was like,
Yeah,
there's these things called like convenience stores, and like what happens is like if you go to Walgreens, CVS, Walmart,
what do you
pick these things up, and then they prevent situations.
Trojans, like Magnums,
man,
lifestyle.
I mean,
all the whatever brand that you use, they have them.
It's even to the point. Remember a while ago where the NBA released that statement to players where it was like, "Hey, y'all either one need to start wearing them rubbers, or and two, whenever y'all are done with them, throw them away or something like that." Because there was a lot of people getting caught up with situations like that. But yeah, I don't understand why. I mean, I don't know. As an athlete with millions like that should be the first thing on your mind. If it's not like someone that you see yourself having a future with, or like being with long term. And like you said, easier said than done, right? But I'm saying as an athlete, nobody cares about easier said than done. You just need to do what's best for you. Like
you gotta hang it up now. You made your bed and laid in it. And at this point, people need to I just don't get that. It's like dudes get too comfortable, I feel like, and they just is like, what you doing? Like like people get caught up in the moment. It can be that liquor. I mean, it can just be a bunch of stuff. But I don't know.
That liquor make you sicker.
Listen, they get what I be on, y'all. They drink Ritual. It's a liquor alternative. If you want to be in them social, I was drinking it at your stuff. That event, the networking event, and it tastes like liquor a little bit, and you mix it with like liquor, and you don't be drunk, but it's just like you still kind of get that vibe. So if you wanna, I don't know, I just feel like people. I'm not gonna say everybody need to stop drinking, but I just feel like people need to take a break from it or something. Or you need to like gauge when you in these situations, because y'all get on there looking, y'all just don't.
That's right in the old fashioned glass.
Yeah, so we're good for a good Sprite outside, man. With the ice, and hold it and just
walk around. What you drinking?
Sprite. I'll be telling people it's Sprite.
You could say I'm drinking that drink. I mean, they assumed it was liquor, but you is drinking that drink, especially if it's the McDonald's Sprite.
Now that's basically liquor. But hold on. But one more thing on there, what I thought about when you were saying like for the public statement and stuff like that. Yo, you know who handled this situation really good, and he shouldn't have handled it. It was doomed from the beginning. Drake. Drake's team actually, when it got aired out, when Pusha T like aired out, oh, he's hiding a child, and did that whole run. Drake just kind of like, okay, he got me. Played back cool.
He got me.
Yeah, and then he went into like press mode, like, yeah, I do have a kid, and we were making sure the kid was good, and The team handled it very well. Right now, Anthony Edwards needs to say nothing. This needs to go straight to the PR public relations department for the Minnesota Timberwolves and his personal self. Everyone needs to rally together around that dude to come up with a game plan. That kid ain't going nowhere. This man's probably about to be a father. Just roll it out now. Get him prepared. He's got some months. I don't know how many months.
Wait, so she's having a kid or she's not?
Yeah. Because it was a pregnancy test, right?
I want to say it was the pregnancy test. Let's see.
Because it wasn't because if I say, Plan B, you got a couple of days where,
And he said something about the pills, though. I was like,
I don't know about abortion pills.
I don't know about.
If anybody's on the live, any ladies on the live, if anybody knows about just the knowledge of this, someone let us know, because we don't sound illiterate.
So there's more developments in this situation because she got a message, funds transfer. It looks like he's wired her $1 million. And she stated, I never once ran to the internet about no one. I tried over and over to handle this privately, and my efforts were ignored. I've been lied to and manipulated by someone who knows exactly what they're doing and takes no accountability for anything. And he said he did she said, you always want someone to blame, and I guess it's going to be me. So he responds, everybody. He got a response. He said, I made comments in the heat of the moment that are not me and that are not aligned with what I believe and who I want to be as a man. All women should be supported and empowered to make their own decisions about their bodies and what is best for them. I'm handling personal matters privately and will not be commenting on them at any point at any further at this time.
Yeah, he didn't type that.
He didn't type that at all. We could tell from the text messages he didn't type
So
that.
he wired her $1 million
on November 7th, 27th.
So he already sent her hush money.
Pretty much.
So it's done, basically. So essentially, why she blasted him was because she didn't receive, or like he just sent the money and it ignored her after that, basically.
Pretty much. That's what it sounded like.
She's hurt.
I mean, yeah. Duh.
I mean, I know that, but I'm saying just like, hey man, it's some ain't shit people out here that would just took that bread and be like, I'm good, I'm all good in the neighborhood. But nah, she was.
Now imagine if he went had one of his little assistants or something go to the store, pick him up a little $12 real quick. Now $1 million just because you don't want to have a kid. And truthfully, he might not have even paid that much in child support over the 18 years.
Yeah.
Depending on what state he's in, or because some of I think if it happened in Minnesota, or I don't know where it was at, right, or where she lives, but I know like here in Texas, there's a cap. You cannot pay more than $1,800 if I'm not mistaken. So depending on where he was, he might not even had to like.
They're in Georgia.
They're in Georgia. I don't know.
So hold on, I'm doing some math here. How many months a year? I'm just saying, what's the worst scenario?
No, I mean, but maybe the meal lump sum was worth it for him. He just wanted to. Yeah, never mind. Okay, he just wanted to get it out the way, get it done with. So I get it. I understand on his part, but I mean, could have been all avoided.
So I wasn't gonna talk about this today, but I just saw something about it, and we're gonna add in another conversation unexpectedly. Now, although I don't have a picture and the video is too long to play, so that's why I don't have the clip. But we are gonna talk about it. So Christian Keys, we know when it's a Christian Keys movie, it's on Tubi, it's on Amazon Prime, it's on Tyler Perry. Christian Keys. Everybody know who Christian. It's on the BET movie. We know Christian Keys. So Christian Keys basically came out talking about he experienced sexual assault by a prominent Hollywood figure. And let's just jump into what does this have to do with mental health. So first of all, I'm going to commend him for coming out about it, because clearly it's been weighing on him for a long time. And he's either met with resistance in the comments from as far as he's either praised or he's hazed. And it's either, oh, it's good to see a black man coming out reporting this. And then there's the other side, you just only saying this now because they're not going to pay you money. Or, oh, you probably wanted it low key, like saying all this stuff. And I seen some comments where some dudes was like, if this was a woman, y'all would be rallying around her. But since it's a black man, it's looking like, oh, and then I don't like that everyone's jumping and saying that it's Tyler Perry, because they still work together. So it's not Tyler Perry, because what I've seen in experiences like this, the people that you think will be doing that, it don't be them. It be some people you would never think that be on that be doing that. And somebody made a comment talking about he looked like Diddy type. I said, Diddy going through enough. Let him, he going through enough right now. Although, allegedly it looked like he got, But so it's sad to see that Christian Keys is getting attacked, but it is good to see that he's getting praised. Before we go to the next segment with that, what do y'all think? What's y'all takes on his situation?
Yeah, I saw a little bit. I didn't watch the whole video, but I kind of have seen people comment on it, so I got the gist of the video. And like you said, it's kind of I don't want to say it's annoying that he came out and was talking about it and people are attacking him and making suggestions it's because they didn't pay you the money and things like that. But and this is just being 100% neutral and down the middle. That's just what's gonna happen when you come public with stuff like that. Because especially if you're in the Hollywood industry or the acting, the entertainment industry, you don't know what kind. I mean, well, I'm not gonna say we don't know, but we know how far these people's power can extend depending on who he's talking about or who it might have been. So when you come out with an allegation like that and you're not naming the person, it's kind of, which I know he wants to tread lightly, right? Because you never know how people are gonna react, but it's almost like, how do I say this? Basically, what I'm saying is when you come out with an allegation like that, it's either you just got to be prepared for that public scrutiny like that. Like, and I applaud him for coming out because you can tell in the video he looks like tired, like he looks drained for sure. Um, and we don't know what type of situation that caused him to, that to happen to him either, because it could have been to a situation where like he's like, hey, I'm a new actor, I just started. These new opportunities are coming along, and then now these people that are gatekeeping these opportunities are suggesting things or like doing things I'm like really not comfortable with, but I'm also trying to progress. And so like it's just a tough situation to be in. But I applaud him for speaking up about it for sure. And I wish people would name people, but I do understand why they don't, because you just never know the reaction you're gonna get. And especially if there's no hardcore proof, you're opening yourself up to defamation lawsuits and things like that. So, yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, I think we're going through that even right now, in the sense of saying like Cassie and Diddy, or like, and everything's allegedly. You know what I'm saying? Until the paperwork's drawn, everything's allegedly. But even like that, when she came out and spoke on it, it's half and half. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's gonna be half and half. You're gonna, anytime you're already a public figure, technically, but anytime you're doing something in life or something happens, and especially in this situation where like I feel like a lot more dudes should speak up on it. You'd be very surprised how many dudes actually go through stuff where it's sexual assault, coercion, or whatever. Not even just in the industry, but just in life in general. A lot of dudes go through moments, people from their childhood, people who are grown, in grown settings, but it's frowned upon for a lot of dudes, especially dudes that look like all of us here, to really speak up on it, because it's not manly, or it's like, oh, you're supposed to just sit here and just be a man about it, or whatever. However, someone would quote unquote
be a man about it.
Yeah, however someone would quote unquote say it, and but I just think for him, I hope he finds a little bit of peace in actually making that video, that he got it out, to it takes a lot for you to speak on things like that. Two, I think with like you said, like I wish people would name drop, but that probably would make the block hotter for him. It's gonna make the shit a lot worse. Because let's be honest, without everything allegedly, like we know that the industry has a lot of, it has good, and saying it's giving a lot of us opportunities to grow in passions and create careers and generational wealth for families. But it's also a negative, where there are certain people that are nasty and just trying to gatekeep and what they want you to do for you to get access into another door. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's one of them things where it's like, I hate that it happened for him. Praying for him and his own, and just hopefully the situation, people will understand it more instead of looking at it as like an attack, or like trying to attack him and stuff like that.
Right. So WWID, what would I do in this situation? So just trying to keep it brief. I think that would I have jumped to Instagram to do it? I'm trying to think. Here's what I would have done, because I'm a writer. I personally might have told this story in a book and maybe described it in a way where it was like, you know who it sound like, but it's not saying their name. Does it make sense to where, like, say for instance, um, who could you, so say if me personally, right? This is me. Huh?
My bad.
Oh, so say I got my pen, because pen crazy, and I wrote a fictional story about my life, and I wanted to tell this story. And I don't want to talk about nobody for real, but say for instance, we knew an artist or a big Hollywood figure who, just hypothetically, right, was known for wearing trench coats or known for wearing a certain garment or known for having a certain catchphrase. I might describe someone close to that description in the book saying what they did to my fictional character who was based off me. And for me, that would be the way for me to tell my story, you know, in an art. That's just me. I like to do stuff like that, you know, creatively. That's me. You know what I mean? So that's what I would do. You know, briefly, what would y'all do in that situation if that happened to you? Or would you say anything at all?
Um,
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not really like. I don't really. I'm not. I'm not the be quiet type of dude. Like something like that happens to me. Like it's burning down all of it. I'm sorry. That's just me. I'm gonna keep it simple. Like stuff like that happens. And look, I'm someone that I know that whatever I say or whatever I do is gonna have consequences. But if something like, especially if it's in a situation where it's like, oh, we're progressing, right? And it's like, oh, to get this contract or to get this role, just do this real quick. Or someone tries to do something and then they're like, well, don't say anything, and then you'll get this. That's not going. Like I'm burning the whole thing down. I'm saying names. I'm talking about everybody. So and really that's what I would do. And yeah, I'm just gonna keep it at that. Like, I'm not gonna be the quiet person with stuff like that. Oh, my bad. There's one part. Like, I don't that power dynamic because I think a lot of people are just like, oh, it's like a thing to where like there are people that are like either undercover or they like like dudes that like dudes that are trying to keep under wraps. Like, I don't really think that that's it only. I think it's like that power dynamic of being able to say like, yeah, do this and then I'll let you have this opportunity. And I don't do well with people dangling opportunities over my head at all. So it would all burn down.
Cause like
yeah,
the previous story, you're gonna be like Shorty gonna be talking about some I did that and I regretted it. And that's why they say a lot of these times these artists and rappers and things, the reason why a lot of them do get on drugs is because they did something that they didn't want to do like that. And now they regret it, so they drugging themselves up. So
yeah, that's the thing. And you know, it's crazy. I already knew that was gonna be bro's response right here. So yeah, I'm I'm kind of the same way, but in a different art form. I'll say. So like for me, I have a real problem with someone saying you need me to get to the next level. I have a very big problem with that. So like, yeah, nah, if you got to do this to get this contract. It wasn't meant for me anyway. God gonna have another door. It's cool. All right, G. Whatever you got going on, or lady, whatever y'all got going on, y'all being freaky free. Cool. I'm going over here. I'm gonna stand on my morals. I'm gonna stand on my own too, because the big end. Also, we're gonna put these napkins over these drinks. We're gonna be in the spots 100%, like on trying to be on alert, because I think there's a big thing of like, I don't know, power dynamic is a real thing. It's not even just in the same; it's in every industry.
it
How many
is.
times we hear about a CEO or somebody sleeping with the secretary, and it has the wife on the side. We're like, oh, if you leave this job, or if you leave me, whatever, you know what I'm saying, you'll never work again, or something like that. Like power dynamic like that. I don't know. I just can't really go with. Even even like in general, it's funny not to be in specifics, but I had a situation in LA, ironically enough, where it was like a dude was trying to kind of like flex his muscle, like, oh, I know, I used to do, I know such and such, I work with such and such, and I don't know who this dude is. I'm just not gonna drop the name because I don't know who bro is. I'm at a spot with a couple of my guys. We at the bar. We just had a real good business trip, and we just talking. And I'm down to talk to anybody, have a conversation. And like, bro's kind of trying to flex that. And I got the business connect, get the card or whatever. As soon as I texted bro, like, oh, yo, nice to meet you hey, nice to meet you. We might can work together one day whenever I come back to LA. Like, you have such beautiful skin. I would love to work with somebody. I was like, nah, no, don't roll like that. Don't move like that. Clicked.
So you didn't get that vibe until he sent that text.
I knew, bro. I knew it was gay. You know what I'm saying? But that's bro, I got
That don't mean
that don't mean
like,
that. Like I got family members who are
Yeah,
LGBTQ,
no.
work with people like that had nothing to do with anything. So like knowing that, yeah, but like trying to come at me, no. And I was like, so when bro sent the message, I just looked. All right, well, on to the next. Yeah,
But the
dog.
thing is, but like I said, in these type of situations, the point I'm getting at, a lot of times it be the ones you would never think that be on that. You be like, what? And then you heard all these stories of, oh, my wife and these girls, I got the hoes. And next thing you know, they drunk and they start saying, you like, what? You thinking I'm coming over here?
Bradley Beal, like, I ain't never seen you act like this.
Yeah,
So,
right.
WWJG, what would Jesus do in this situation? I believe morally, I think it's the best to tell it. I didn't like in the comments though, where people was kind of like, you see this man is venting about something that happened to him. So like y'all said in a respectful way when y'all was like, I wish he would have said the name. They kind of like, they did the whole Monique thing, say their names or leave it on the playground. I'm like, this man is clearly going through it. Like, why would y'all say that now? I think that we should be sympathetic to him. And I think that we should let him kind of express it when he wants to, because it's some stuff like that eats at people for a long time. And they just feel like this person keep on trying. And I'm sure he was like, bro, no, I ain't on that. I ain't on that. And they just keep thinking I'm going to wear you down. And you going to eventually he going, he just got to wear him down a little bit. That's what the person is thinking. So then it's kind of like Johnny Bravo, Johnny Bravo wasn't giving up. So, or Pepe Le Pew, it's just like they just own that, and then it's sad because the person he describing, clearly nobody know that person is on that. So it's just like dang, like you probably every time you see the person, you just get anxiety, your heart just drop. Like, oh God. So
Pimp C said it. Hey, Pimp C said it best in that one interview. I ain't gonna quote it, but Pimp C.
Yeah, I think it's quick time. Don't say it.
I ain't gonna say it.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna say it, but we know the quote. So I feel like what Jesus would do. And then what should men do in this situation? I think that in this situation, you should go get some therapy if you don't already. I believe that you should document it just for your own, just because you just never know. What if gangs of people, because everybody get they just desserts. So what if gang of people start coming out telling the story, and then you like, oh, I got my documentation too, so that I'm not gonna let Sheila and Ronnie be the only ones coming at this person when they came and me too, and I got the proof. So I'm not saying to gang up and take somebody down, but in the same breath, gang up and take somebody down. I mean, I'm just saying, and I think that he was brave to tell his story because, like y'all said, he knew people was gonna come at him. So he knew people was gonna try to, brush him under the rug and all that stuff. And then he an actor. I don't know his other businesses, but I know he is the Tubi King and the BET King. So it's like if you, I don't know. I don't want to count his pockets. I don't see him with no podcast. I don't see him with no YouTube stuff like that. So it's like if he lose his acting gigs, what else?
And that's the type of situation people get put into, to where they end up doing, because and you got to think about it like this also, just to be brief. Like you said, he's the Tubi King, BET King. Now I'm not like talking, obviously we know Tubi right now, they're not at like Netflix level, right? Let's just put it like that. BET right now is, as far as original movies and acting shows, they have, and just shows, they have a few good shows on there, but they're not like, compared to some of these other networks at the moment. We never know if him standing on his square is the reason why he is not bigger than what he is now. So
that's a good point. Maybe that's why he ain't been in them big, movie feature films, because he's not going do his acting.
Like even there was another actor, I just saw this, white dude, forget his name, but he was saying he felt the industry was trying to blackball him because he wouldn't kiss another like woman actress because he had a wife. So like they kept they kept giving him a real like villain role. And he was cool with that. Like he's making the break, feeding his family. And when they got him in another lead, they were, oh yeah, you're gonna have to have the sex scene or whatever. And he's like, nah, like I like the role, like just switch this part out.
Which they can do. They can do that.
Well, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You can easily do that. There's ways to get around that productions 100%. And so, but they were like, well, you're not gonna get down and do that. And you're like, bro, I got a wife at home. I'm cool. Like I'm only for like I took these vows, man. You know, we did this with God. I'm with her. So like if I don't want my kid. His quote was like, I don't want my kids to grow up and see me kissing another woman that's not my wife. I don't care if it's a film or whatever. That's not what he's trying to teach his kids. That's his principle. And he stood on his business. And that's kind of the thing where I hate the fact that morals are almost being thrown out for the bad nowadays that people are trying to do sometimes. And in this case, it almost will hurt you to have morals and have a standard to stand on because like this is what I believe and this is what I feel, but this could also cut my bag and cut how lavish or cut how my funds are.
No, for sure. For sure, for sure. All right, y'all. So we done with that one. So now let's go to the final conversation, which is about Jonathan Majors. So his attorney released a statement following guilty verdict, and the attorney has released a statement, and I have a lot to say about that. I'm actually going to read the statement. So give me a second. And the statement reads: after he was found guilty of 2 misdemeanor counts of harassment and assault and acquitted on 2 other accounts, it is clear that the jury did not believe Grace Jabari's story of what happened in the SUV because they found that Mr. Majors did not intentionally cause any injuries to her. We are grateful for that. We are disappointed, however, that despite not believing Ms. Jabari, the jury nevertheless found that Majors was somehow reckless when she was attacking him. Mr. Majors is grateful to God, his family, his friends, and his fans for their love and support during these harrowing 8 months. I like that word. I'm going to start using that. Mr. Majors still has faith in the process and looks forward to clearing his name. So, my bad. Got to go to this first. Mental health. These men getting dragged lately. They got to be going through it. First and foremost, in this situation, if he hasn't already, I wouldn't even be on social media. Just me personally, in that situation, all social media will be deleted, or my team will have it and they'll post for me if something needs to be posted. It's unfortunate, I don't want to blame race. I don't want to. But it's unfortunate as a black man, and I'm not attacking interracial couples or interracial dating, but it's just in these situations, it just seems like it never goes well. So mental health wise, I know he's going through it, and it's good to see that a lot of people are supporting him. I'll just say that. So what y'all take on
that? I don't know. Man, I'm trying to decide. Well, I'll just say it like this: like, it's almost as far as the mental health aspect, it's tough because you almost, when you're an actor, or not an actor, but when you're a prominent public figure like that, you have to have everything. You have to run a tight ship. Everything has to be smooth. Like, you have to remove yourself from all like bad situations and things like that. Like, your people in your circle that you have with you, stuff like that. Like, you just have to make sure everything is clean cut and you're not doing anything that could possibly land you in a situation like this. And in addition to that, it seems like there was some audio played where it seemed like he was kind of being, kind of, I don't want to say aggressive, but kind of like talking over and not really letting her talk and things like that. And my thing is, as a man, if you feel that you're in an argument with a woman and you feel your blood boiling and your temperature starting to rise to the point where you like starting to like, you know what, I'm getting out of character. I don't care. I don't care if somebody call you weak, whatever they call you. If you're a person that you like, okay, when people yell at me, I know I just don't do good with that. And you're in an argument with a woman that you're dealing with, and she starts yelling, and you feel yourself about to get out of character, just get out, just leave. That's the only thing you can do to avoid it. Like,
he tried to run.
Yeah, I mean, he did try to run, but my thing is, how do I say it like this? Even when you're perfect, sometimes, depending on how things are portrayed to the media, you can still get caught up. So my thing is, actively vet the people who you're dealing with. And if you feel yourself get to a point where you're like stressing or like you feel like you gotta yell or be aggressive or you gotta even, like, oh, get off of me. And even small things like, because as big as he is and as her size, even something like she's walking up to him, like trying to grab him, and he like nudges her off, right? He's a strong dude. So on film, no matter what, yeah, you don't know how that's gonna look. So so I'm gonna be honest, like as far as the ins and outs of why he was running, I don't know. But that was the smartest thing he could have done. Cause him showing on film that he was trying to get away from whatever situation it is probably helped him as far as the other 2 counts that he was acquitted for. So yeah, all I'm gonna say is if you feel yourself about to get out of character, your best bet if you're dealing with a woman is to remove yourself from the situation. And if it's a big issue that you know that you're gonna have to talk about again, wait till level heads, are going about it that way.
Yeah. And I'm gonna keep my answer a little bit shorter. It seems to be, and you hate it like this, it seems to be like money changes the people around you. It might not change. It can change you, but it also changes the people around you too. So in this type of situation that he's in, I know it's a lot of factors we can play into this. You know what I'm saying? People can try to play the race card. People can try to play the money card. People can try to play, she trying to come up on the bad card. But it's also a thing where it's like, yo, when you got to vet out real quick when stuff starts switching and life is going real good, just check out people starting to act around you. Because when everything, I don't know, I'm a person when I feel like when everything is up and like, it's not even just money-wise, when everything's all happy and la-di-da-di-da land, it's all good. But people, you see people's real characters whenever like challenges and like stuff is going like not good. So this might have been a person, he might have been with him, like everything just been smooth sailing, right? Might not have had too many things, but now it's like, oh, at the moment where something's really not going right, you see her true character. Like you said, you got to get up out of Dodge. You got to like, oh, because I'm pretty sure if this was the breaking moment, there's probably little moments beforehand where something might have just need to. Like,
and see, you go, y'all answer. See, there's a thing, y'all. It's all flowing, it's all aligning. So first of all, what would I do in this situation? Everything y'all said. So we're gonna go to the next one in a second because there's no point of even adding to that because that's exactly what I would have did. I said this early in the podcast I recorded that actually drops this week. You get red flags about how people are. Y'all ignore them. That's people's problem. You seen the red flag that they was fake. You seen the red flag that they was crazy. You seen they got anger issues. You seen that they'll sell you out at the drop of a hat. You see them, but y'all be like, no, they wouldn't do that to me. Or you see that stuff, but people ignore it because they in love or that's their day one. And right, which goes to the next segment, which is what would Jesus do? You would recognize the red flags early because you get them. You always get them. You got a sign the girl you was talking to was crazy when you text her too many questions, and I'm telling on myself, and she blow up on you talking about something. I had a long day. Leave me alone. I'm like, okay. And you like, and then it starts to become more frequent. It's like, all right, because I don't. There's too much. It's different if it happens one time, but again, you see it happen before. Like when you get mad, this the big one. When you get mad, somebody starts saying real like terrible, mean stuff to you. There's like low blow stuff. If you keep dealing with that, they're gonna catch you on a bad day. And you might, you know what I'm saying, or say a girl that get in your face. We've seen them situations happen several times before too, where you see the girl, she start getting crazy and start getting all up in the dude face, where she all up in his face, like hit me. Like that's the sign I would run out the house like a white woman. I would
especially yes, but any woman, if she start getting like get out, hey, you're not gonna win.
Hey, my mama told me this. She was like, if any woman makes you start having to act out a character, you know what your character is, you're not supposed to be in that situation. You gotta get up out of there. So yeah, like that's kind of like like I said, it's an easier said than done situation because people could easily like take these words and be like, but you're not in the situations and you don't know what the emotions are. We're not those two people. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time,
I said we're saying what if?
Yeah, we're saying what if. But at the same time, too, it's like, okay, if I'm already kind of getting this, oh, okay, you might swing on me. Like you got a little extra buck when you got argue. Oh, take that mental note and just be like, okay, I might need to start like slowly dipping off. Because let's be real, we all men here. It's like you getting teed off by a shorty ain't gonna be looked at. It's definitely not gonna be as frowned upon as if you tee off on some, if some hypothetically, if a dude swings back. So essentially, it's like, dog, get yourself out of that situation because you don't even want to be in a situation where you have to like feel like you need to defend yourself. You just need to go.
Yeah.
Block, change your locks.
And I'm gonna say this:
switch that lease.
Something like that start happening. I'm pulling out that camera. Soon as I feel it start getting sticky, live on film.
Y'all see,
okay,
this is the answer. This is the answer for this segment. That's all I'm gonna say. What you just do? Pull out that phone, because I ain't even think of that. That's what you should have did. Pull out the phone. That's all I'm gonna say.
Look, and I ain't too prideful. It's three numbers that sound real good. 911.
Mm-hmm. I'm calling that. Look, I'm just letting y'all know right now because if everything's not documented, it leaves too much. Unfortunately, we're in a time right now to where I'm gonna say, like, I'm not gonna say. I'll say this. Usually, when a woman comes out and says something right now, people are more inclined to believe her right away. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing,
right.
But as a man, knowing that, you kind of have to, like, it's almost like the burden of proof is on you. So you have to dot your I's, cross your T's. Something like that gets heated, call 911, let them know, and then start recording or something like that, because you just never know what's going to be said and what can be twisted with the words and stuff like that. And at the end of the day, it's their word versus yours. So,
and I ain't gonna lie to you, and that's the case 9 times out of 10.
What it's looking like now.
What we're looking at right now. Our word is not getting taken. That our word is not bond.
For sure, absolutely. So, great episode. This has been a good one, especially for the final one of the year. So usually I discuss the next episode, but since this is the last one of the year and we won't be doing this until after the season ends, I'm gonna go ahead and discuss the next 3 episodes. So the next episode that drops this week centers around AI and matchmaking. And we have a great guest and how that correlates with mental health. And we have a great guest who's created a new app that drops in January that discusses that. And I give my take on that. And then to end off the series, we have a mini series called As a Man, called the As a Man series. And the first episode will be a solo episode, and it's called As a Man, Why Are You Blocking People? And anybody who knows me knows I'm an advocate for blocking people, but we're going to unpack that. And then the second episode, which will be aired January 4th, features my boy Phenom, and it is called As a Man, Why Do You Have an OnlyFans Account? And we'll be unpacking that. So
that's funny. That's actually funny.
I don't want to give too much away because it's already been recorded, but I will say the dude on there doesn't have one, but I think he was playing devil's advocate, so he was trying to be like pro men having OnlyFans, because I'm against it totally, because I have many theories as to why I think it's, I have my theories, which y'all got to tune in for that to see. That's one of them. But yeah, I just think that, it makes sense for a woman to be laying low and spreading wide on camera. So that's all I'm going to say. So that's all I got for today. Thank y'all for tuning in. And the audio will be dropping tonight as well, along with the video on YouTube. So have a Merry Christmas, everybody. PSA signing out. Always remember, keep your head up like your neck hurt. Remember who you are. Make your mind up. Don't let it make you. And I love us for real.